All right, I'm still in Sturgis, South Dakota, and this is Indian Bike Headquarters, right? Indian Motorcycle Headquarters? Is
Not
that?
quite the headquarters. We are the number one
Well,
dealership in the nation.
sorry, dealership.
That's
Yes,
all right.
thank you for correcting me. And this is Abby.
Hello.
So I'm just walking around taking photos, and you came and said hi. So let's talk about you for a second. How long have you worked here at Indian?
I started in February of 2015, so it's been a good chunk right now,
Oh, wow.
almost 10 years. And I started knowing nothing and being a passenger only, and now I get to ride, and I've learned something new every day about a lot of different motorcycles.
Did you want to work here so you could learn about bikes, or was it just a job at that time?
It was just a job at the time. I loved riding. I grew up in the Black Hills. I loved the rally. There's a lot of passion behind motorcycling, but it was exciting to me, and it still is.
And do you ride now?
I do, yes.
What do you have?
Currently, I am in between bikes. My last bike was a Chieftain, which is like these guys here. Before that, I had a Scout, which is like these smaller bikes here.
That's considered a smaller bike?
Yeah, about 550 pounds. But prior to that, my very first bike was actually a used Harley, which in this area is very, very common. Harley was around longer.
Yeah.
Indian came back in 2014. But they were the first bike of the rally back in the good old days, and the first American motorcycle company.
Yeah, as I saw at the museum, it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yep, established in 1901. So you'll see 1901 on a lot of our bikes.
Okay.
That's what that is indicating.
And let's talk about this bike right here that you chose to stand in front of.
Yeah, this is a 24 Challenger. The Challenger is the baddest bagger in the racing world, so it actually is a big cruiser. But it is very fast. Has 122 horsepower stock. That's a lot for a cruiser. 128 foot-pounds of torque stock. The new 24 option is the saddlebag audio. So this came from factory with the saddlebag audio. It has a fixed fairing, kind of like the road glides in the Harley world. Inverted front forks and Brembo brakes. So it's meant to go fast and stop quick and safely. Very aerodynamic and just a joy to ride.
Who's buying these bikes? Who's coming in here and buying?
Everybody, men, women, young, old, tall, short. We are so lucky to be in Sturgis because of the rally, but also just the beautiful riding in this area. So we badge all of our bikes with the Sturgis badge here. We're just very proud to be back in this area.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of couples enjoy riding. It's a great hobby as a couple. Or as an individual with a group of people, or just flying solo. There's all different walks of folks who like to
What
ride.
time of the year do you sell the most bikes? Would it be...
Definitely in the summer, yes. Yep.
And you sell bikes during Sturgis?
We do.
And so during Sturgis, are you selling bikes to people who have already, like, ever ridden, never ridden?
A little bit of everything,
A little
I
bit,
guess.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes. Usually the folks here are riders and they've ridden out. But every once in a while you get a first-time rider. Maybe it's a wife that has been a passenger for a very long time and she's like, this is the year. I see more women on bikes than ever. I can do this, and then she does. Sometimes it's like a younger kid that's been riding as a passenger for a while and they're getting their first bike at Sturgis. But I would say the majority during the rally are previous riders, pretty experienced riders.
And how are they choosing their bike? Like, if I came in and I'd never ridden
Yeah.
and I wanted to buy a bike, would I do that? No. So I'm a little afraid of these. If you had, you have the trike. I would totally
Sure.
do the trike over there. But so me, if I said, okay, say I've ridden a few times with my whoever.
Yep.
I'm trying to imagine that scenario, because are you going to sell a bike to someone who does? Do you also sell riding lessons, or?
So we don't have riding lessons here, but
Okay.
we can sell you a bike without your endorsement or without any experience.
Okay.
We do recommend a motorcycle safety class. That's a
Yeah,
great
okay,
way to get your
okay.
endorsement. They start from the tiniest bit of information to all the big stuff and cover everything in between. So we do highly recommend that. But we've had some people who will come in and buy with the intent of doing that class
Okay.
and then start riding.
So if I've never ridden, would you, based on my height and weight, which I'm not going to share in this video, well, I'm 5'3", but based on my height and weight, is that how you would sell them, or how would you?
No, I like to get as much information about you as possible. Have you ridden a bicycle before? Have you ridden dirt bike before? Have you ridden four wheels like an ATV or side by side? Where is your extreme level? And then I like to just have you sit on them, and you really will know what's great for you and what's not. And we are very fortunate. We have over 300 motorcycles here and now, and a little bit of everything, all different sizes. So I'd have you swing a leg over a few, see where your comfort level is, and then just take it from there.
Okay.
That's how I
And
started.
like a car, people can take it out.
Yeah.
What's the smallest bike you have?
Right now we have a Rebel Honda 250. I don't think it's out here,
Okay.
but that's a very light, small bike. Smaller CC. It's not going to probably be the best on interstate long trips, but it'd be a
Okay.
good one to start on. In the Indian world, the Scout has been a great beginner bike. Very lightweight, low to the ground. It's well balanced, and it's one that you don't outgrow very fast. It has 100 horsepower. So
And can we go over to the trike?
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
probably know what I'm talking about. But the trike bikes.
yeah.
So, are those like in the world of biking? Would like a hardcore, Harley high-end bike? Are these considered like real? What do you
Yeah.
understand? I'm trying to ask you, which I'm not
Yes.
articulating well at all.
They are definitely still a real motorcycle. Our Indian trikes actually are not from factory, so we had to ship the trikes to Motor Trike in Texas to have the three-well kit put on,
Okay.
and then it comes with a warranty from Motor Trike, which is really nice. For a lot of people choosing a trike, it's either because they physically aren't feeling comfortable on two wheels anymore. It's usually at stops if you're having any leg pain or
Sure.
joint pain, or if you're starting out and you're just not wanting the two-wheel experience. You're wanting to play it a little more safe. They feel a little more comfortable on three wheels. But we always say whatever keeps your knees in the breeze. It doesn't matter if it's two or
love it.
three or four, as long as you're having fun. Polaris has a slingshot now. That's kind of a hybrid between a car and a motorcycle. It gives you a sport car feel with a more open air experience, and it's a three-wheeler. It has one wheel in the back, two in the front, but you have a steering wheel. And
Oh.
those have been very, very popular as well.
So yeah, my uncle had a Goldwing 350. But can you tell me how much one of these might be?
Sure. So a new Indian trike. There comes Dusty.
Let's let him go by. Someone just buy this one? Sweet. Okay.
So a new Indian trike, if you're looking at a two-tone from Motor Trike, there's a bunch of different kits out there and different bikes that you can trike, so that would affect your price point. Something like this was probably around 60 to 65,000.
Okay.
Brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you could do a lesser bike, one without a fairing and a tour pack that starts at a lower price point, and then it'd be a
Okay.
little less, or a different kit that's not as inclusive as well.
Okay.
Goldwing trikes, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That one at the front is nice. I like the.
So that one is getting some work done to it. It's not quite complete.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful bike. Oh gosh.
Indian red and cream. That's a very iconic look with
Yeah.
the tan leather.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when I see these going down the road, I think I'm just as like wow as
Yeah.
one of the others. But I just I was curious. And I met some guys in Tennessee last year. And 3 of them were riding these and 2 had the other, and they were all just. But it was a question I had in my mind. I didn't want to ask them at that moment in time. But yeah, I love it. Can you say that again? Whatever gets the breeze.
Yeah, whatever keeps your knees in the breeze.
Whatever keeps your knees in the breeze.
Or your hair in the air.
This is great. How
Throttle
many-
therapy is a real thing, I tell you what. It is so freeing. It keeps you in the moment. You can't be worried about what happened in the past or worried about what's going to happen in the future. You have to be
Just
focused
dealing
on
with
what
the
you're
now.
doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's like the number one question people ask when they're ask you, or an unusual question, request, or
Yeah. A lot of people ask about the rally and if we actually sell during the rally. And it is one of our busiest times, right? On the
Another one
Challenger.
sold?
No, I think that's a new one.
Okay.
He's one of our techs, so
Okay,
he probably
okay.
just got it ready to go. A lot of people ask about the rally.
Rally, mhm.
And why? Why here in the middle of the boonies?
Mm-hmm.
But if you hit the hills and are able to ride, it is one of the most beautiful riding experiences in the world.
So I'm
fresh
gonna
air.
take 14 to Deadman. Is that an area they'd ride?
Yeah,
Okay.
up to Deadwood.
Yeah, or to
absolutely.
Deadwood. Yeah.
Deadwood's a very historic area, beautiful windy road, lots of trees.
I figured today it's like 50 degrees. It should be good. No snow.
Should be good. Yes, they keep it pretty clear.
So that answers the question of why this area. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
And actually, you know, it started with Pappy Hoyle and his wife, and they owned an Indian dealership here. You got that history. I think this is a side. This is only opinion, but there was an era of the 60s, 70s where the biker gangs, really kept it alive. There's still Hell's Angels that come here. There's still Banditos that come here, and the cops will tell you they're not the ones that are the issues anymore. They don't really worry about them so much, but it became a hot spot for that kind of activity. And then when the Buffalo Chip opened up, we started getting good concerts. We started bringing in more people, and that kind of cool factor of being part of the biker world emerged. Nowadays, it's not so much about the one percenters or the big clubs, I should say, but Sons of Anarchy, that kind of brought that cool factor back. Everybody, there's a cool factor to it, and there's a freedom factor to it, and it's just a really great experience overall. It's all about emotions, really, I would say, for people who are wanting to ride.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. Well, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I don't think so. You should start riding.
Yeah.
3 wheels or 2.
Hook me up with one of these.
Yeah, all right. We can do it.
Probably this little one at the front when it's ready. I'll come back with a little trailer. I'll haul it behind my 2007 Honda Fit.
Yes, absolutely.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. This was fun. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.